So hi again guys, another video on some concerns with regards to some of the processes. If you have a flight disruption, that's what we're going to deal with here today. So with regards to flight disruption, first of all, you would have had to have boarded the passengers to start off. So you put all of the passengers onto the flight. Please do check them all in and get to the boarding screen. From the boarding screen, you go into the following steps to basically disrupt the flight and then basically also load the passengers onto the next available flight. So let's just go through those steps then. So first of all, out of the boarding screen, you would have to go into seeing all of the passengers that are boarded. You will see that that there is nothing boarded on this screen, but you'd want to deboard all passengers that you had on the flight. So go to mass deboarding. I don't always suggest doing that. First of all, you'd want to see all of the list, but let's do the mass deboarding for the purpose of the exercise. So you go to mass deboarding out of the boarding screen options on the left, and then you do mass deboard. It'll ask you which passengers you want to deboard, and you can either choose all the transit passengers first of all, or all customers on that flight. We're gonna do first of all customers. So after you've made that selection, you can see that all of these passengers have now been deboarded. So moving on to that, you need to go into disruption transfer, which is on the left side. You'll see disruption, CF10, and you'll go into disruption transfer. So all of those passengers, you're not going to try to get them onto flights or the next available flights, depending on the situation. If you press F4, then you will be able to select other flights, or to find another flight for the passengers that you have now deboarded. So you can prefer and choose the flights, or if you have multiple sectors, like for instance now with us and Airlink, you might have that option as well. Then you'll just move on to the next field and just try to see the date that you'd want to transfer the passenger on. So if it's not the next day, then maybe it might be the Sunday, for instance. Today's Sunday, and the next flight might only be on Wednesday in that same direction, for instance, just to give an example. Then you'd have to choose and put in the date as well as the time, and then you can select the flight that you're going to choose them. Now out of this screen, you would see the alternative journey selection screen. You will be able to now select all of the passengers, or the number of passengers that you'd want to transfer. So that could be all of them, or maybe only a partial amount due to availability of seats. So that will lead you to the next screen, which will give you the accepted ticks for the passengers that you've decided to now move, and then you would tab that to the next available journey. So preferably obviously you'd have to choose the correct journey that the passengers are traveling onto. So if they're traveling to Ondangwa, it will have to be Eros Ondangwa. If they're traveling to Cape Town, then obviously Windhoek to Cape Town, and so forth and so on. Enter the journey leg that you'd prefer, and then you'd say the transfer reason, which will give you a selection screen. So denied boarding could be, or missed connection, or flight cancelled. In this case, we're going to do the flight cancelled like we had the other day. So we'll choose flight cancelled, or flight delayed, flight diverted. Those are some of the options that you have there. If you've done that, then you can say that the flight was cancelled, and then you would now put all of those passengers onto that flight. So hopefully that was clear and helpful.